next guest.
Get
maybe
over
you know
here.
her from Bravo's Summer House, or maybe from her 2 podcasts. It could be because of her stand-up. Also, I mean, she's a lady about town.
And if it's none of those things, maybe you've seen her hilarious man on the street or Han on the street
Yes,
interviews,
ma'am.
like this one.
What's a non-sexual turn-on?
Oh gosh, this is a weird one. I like it when girls are really organized with their finances.
Direct, like kind of mean. You know, that's
A good neg.
yeah, that's probably some mom issues, but yeah, a good neg.
Tell me you're disappointed at me.
Exactly. Just tell me I was close, but not enough.
I like a cornbread.
Oh.
Oh, a cornbread. One time I did have a cornbread that made me blush. Like people were commenting on it.
Well,
Not the cornbread that
I
made her.
understand it, though. I
know.
get it.
I love a good cornbread.
Yeah.
Hannah Berner is a comedian, host, digital creator, and advocate for mental health, animals, and napping.
Amen.
I mean, come on. She belongs. She belongs.
She was also ranked one of Variety's 10 comics to watch for 2023. She's one of New York's very own, born in Brooklyn, and she is right here now in the studio, joining us live on New York Living. Hannah Berner, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry the show's gonna go downhill after this.
The show is only getting better.
Really.
This
It's
like
the Monday of all Mondays.
This is the best engagement present ever.
Let's go. Congratulations.
Thank you very. It's okay. I saw her. It's so funny. All the women, all the boys are like, "Oh, congrats!" All the girls are like, and I just saw her. She said congrats, and she kind of like, he did good.
Yeah,
He did
taking
good.
it in, taking it in.
Oh,
He did
stop.
good.
Also unique.
Stop it. Stop
Wait,
it.
did he?
She designed it.
Oh, that's risky.
He's a
And he
smart
did
man,
great.
he's good
He did
looking,
great.
and he has a beautiful taste.
Okay,
in
so she
fashion.
approves,
It's
then
it's
I
wild.
approve.
Thank you.
There's literally nothing wrong with him. It's
Let's get to
concerning.
the business of the business.
Wait,
Yes.
yeah, because we didn't mention that you were also a collegiate athlete. You played tennis and U.S. Open season at the University of Wisconsin.
Go
Badgers.
I know
that
US
one.
Open starting today. The energy in New York is crazy right now.
Best time.
I'm so excited. I was hoping to get a wild card. No one called me.
You know what?
Well, there's
I've
still
been waiting
time.
for that in baseball. They never call.
No one called me up for the
They'll-
minors.
Hey,
I
but
never even made the minors.
second to that, you got something pretty fabulous happening to you. You met Roger Federer.
Hello.
Mic drop.
Hello. Were you
Please?
wearing that when you met him?
No,
shucks.
no, I wish. I didn't know if I was going to meet him
there
or
he
not.
is.
I was so you know when you're like, this is the selfie,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
forget how to smile.
Yeah.
My hand was shaking.
No.
My hand's shaking. And
I
I've
know.
met you meet celebrities, but
Listen, you rub elbows with the,
oh my gosh, and he was so sweet and kind, and you know, I grew up watching this man, and he really is a legend at what he does. So that was a cool 5 seconds of my life that I won't forget.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to live vicariously through you there.
Hello. Okay, so you have people all over the country and all over the world. Your stand-up is hysterical.
Thank you.
On TikTok, on the street. Were you always
All over the place.
all over the place? Did you always know you were funny or that you wanted to get into comedy?
I think as a New Yorker, we're always busting each other's chops.
100%.
But I just thought that's what we do in New York.
Right.
And I was always very goofy, but then I got really focused with tennis, and I really became like a robot and focused. And after tennis, I was like, I have a goofy side to me that I've been suppressing as a little girl. So then I kind of brought her out again, and my creative side, and I've been very happy being like that little kid again.
Thank God for that, because we said in the intro that you were named as one of Variety's 2023 10 comics to watch. That is huge. Obviously, the public and the masses agree. What does that mean to you?
Comedy can be very lonely. You know, you're just on the road, you're performing, you're trying stuff out, stuff's working, stuff's not working. So to have the industry for a second, acknowledge, hey, what you're doing,
Right.
we like, it feels awesome. And also, I think the more women in comedy and the more women you see, accomplishing things, the more girls are watching to be like, I'm funny, and I could do this too.
That's right.
So
Exactly, and I gotta commend you for the chutzpah, because the second
No
I
kidding.
didn't get a laugh at one joke, I'd quit. I wouldn't be able to recover from that mentally.
Not you throwing out the Yiddish.
I don't know where that came from.
No, you got some phlegm.
Italian and Jewish are very
That's what
closely
I am.
aligned.
I'm
pretty
Italian
sure.
and Jewish. Too. I'm New York.
You're New York.
It's
You're
New York,
okay.
everybody.
It's
Okay?
New York. Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York. Okay, so you're touring. You're heading to West Hampton
Heading to
Beach.
West Hampton. I'm giving you guys an excuse to get out of the city.
Yes.
And get some ocean air.
Yeah.
That's right.
West Hampton Labor Day, I'm doing a very fun show. And just wanted to let the girlies know about it. And the men.
And
the
the
men
men.
are welcome too, as long
Okay.
as you have a chaperone with you, as your wife.
So are you?
The camera guy's laughing.
And not some unnamed
Well, I
lady
mean,
friend.
you don't want to go alone. It won't be safe.
Well, why not?
The girls get crazy at my shows.
But you know what it is? That's why I love you and Paige. You have you have all the things. You have 2 podcasts, you have your tour, you were on the show. But the Giggly Squad, I feel like it resonates and it's become so popular and the girlies love you because you are relatable. You are the people are sitting at home listening or watching and they're like, wait, this is me and my friends.
I feel like it's like a female locker room.
It is.
And then the boyfriends and the husbands or the random guys are like, wait, this is actually,
randos as well.
this is funny.
Right.
So it becomes this like connection, but it's all about like kind of decentering men from your life and focusing on what you want to do, and then the men naturally come. And even though you got engaged, we're still decentering men from our life. I'm married
Please.
too.
Yeah, no, and no, listen.
This one is the queen of that in the best way
One of the
possible.
first things Josh said to me was, I'm a card-carrying feminist. I said, we would not be together if you weren't. Because I think you attract what you are.
When you are being like focused on you, the right people connect with you, and that's kind of what we love. We preach.
So you do this comedy.
We're reading an episode of the Giggly Squad right now.
You didn't even make a joke, and you got me laughing.
Well, I'm just because when I meet successful people, I like to peel back the skull and see like, okay,
in a non-creepy way.
What was the methodology? You know, did the podcast, was it born out of a bit you did, or were you always aware that you wanted to do this podcast because you have another one that is a little bit more serious?
Well, now I just launched a pod actually with my husband. Maybe you and your mans could listen. It's called Burner Phone, where people call in. Because my husband is also a comedian.
Yeah.
But we were waiting for the right project to do like publicly together, and we're finally ready to kind of show what we're really like behind the scenes, just us bantering and riffing.
Right.
But I think with comedy, it's hard, especially as a woman, to admit you want to be on camera.
Yeah.
To say I want the attention, I like to ham it up, and I want to express myself and be heard and take up space.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
It's hard.
It's very true.
And it took me till about 26 until I was like, I don't want to do a 9 to 5 anymore. It's not where I shine. I'm very bad at administration work.
You can't keep her sitting in the chair.
I will get fired. And then you realize I feel alive when I'm performing. And then, you know, I started trying different things. And I think technology changes all the time. You never really know what you're going to be, but I knew that I wanted to express myself and perform, and somehow found myself here. But I like doing the podcast. I like doing the street interviews. I'm not putting myself in any kind of narrow box.
Nor should you.
And speaking of the street interviews, it's Hannah on the Street, a spoof off of Man on the Street. We actually have a little clip that we want to show.
What's your favorite makeup look on a woman?
Ponytail.
I like when they do like the Cleopatra eyes sometimes.
I don't like too much makeup. I like just a little bit, like a little hint of makeup.
I don't know, natural maybe, a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit over here, a little bit over there, you know, something like that.
None.
None.
None. And I know everybody's like, I like nothing.
I like colors on the face, on the eyes. Eyeshadow, that's like a fun color. I like that. You can really match it to an outfit nice.
Of him, Andrew Santino. Okay.
Colors.
This is a hot topic of discussion in our pre-show meetings too. How men said they love the no makeup look. It's like, do you really?
Men would say you have no makeup on right now.
Right, of course, right, because I'm sort of matted and
Yes.
And it took me 7 hours to do the no makeup look. I'll have you know.
I do our own makeup.
These are actually a lot of male comics that are just hanging out outside the stand where I perform a lot.
So funny.
And I was like, it'd be so funny if I ask guys questions that they don't normally get asked. And I really bonded with these guys.
Where do you come up with these questions?
It's what do I think is going to make them uncomfortable?
Oh, I love it.
And I think a lot of these are good first date questions too, because you really, like, I don't care about your fake hobbies. I want to know, like, do you know the definition of feminism? Do you know what an IUD is? Like, I want to know how much you know about women.
And I think in doing so, you open up the conversation for topics that were so taboo. And it's like, come on, it's 2023. Let's not act like we've never been here before. We don't talk about these topics. What do you hope to achieve when you go on tour? Because it's very different when you're doing the podcast versus doing a Man on the Street with maybe comics that you know. You're out on a stage, you're going to West Hampton. Do you prepare differently? What is that vibe like? How do you continue the brand that you have created on a big stage where there's instant gratification?
I think if the brand is too fabricated, it's easy to like lose yourself. But I definitely always stem from like, what do I think makes me laugh and my best friends laugh. And that's how I think I've found people with like-minded senses of humor. And I'm working on my hour on stage right now, so I'm traveling to get an hour and hopefully putting out a special one of these days.
Oh,
so keep an eye out.
I am here for a Hannah Berner special.
Thank you,
then
babe.
come back and promote it, please.
Are you kidding me?
Okay,
Open, literally open door policy.
Reserve
here for
this
you.
spot for me. Warm it up.
We'll Sharpie your name into that seat, okay? Like our own little Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That's right.
Hannah Berner, thank you
Oh my
so
God, you guys are
much
the
for being
best.
here.
Thank
This
you
was
for
so
having
fun.
me. I
This was a
appreciate it.
treat. And like she mentioned, she has a show this Sunday in West Hampton Beach. Go get your tickets at hannahberner.com. Be sure to check her out on the TikTok as well at Hannah_Berner and on the gram at Hannah Berner. There it is.